Yeah, we're going to close out the book here. I'm just going to run through these fundamental principles you have. And as I'm saying them, think about not just dogs, but everyone that doesn't have a dog. Think about people. Anyone that's in a leadership position, think about leading those people as it applies to dogs. 1, look at things from the dog's perspective. How often is it we get somebody that works for us and we don't think about what's going through their brain and why what we're saying, how what we're saying to them or how what we're making them do impacts them? Appreciate the differences in how dogs use their senses to perceive the world. Same thing. Think about the people that you've got working for you. Look at the intelligence behind the mistake. You already talked about that. Reward good behavior. Duh. But how often do we not do that as a leader? Punish or extinguish bad behavior. Duh, again. But how often do we let little things slide? If you're letting things slide, if somebody wants to be late day after day, that's okay. We're saying it's okay. Next, be consistent in the application of awards and punishment. Well, there you go. This is especially true with kids. If you're not consistent with the kids, like they don't learn. Mm-hmm. And I think opposite of dogs, actually. A kid, if they think they can get away with it once, like a variable reward, variable punishment, if they think they can get away with it, they're going to gamble that they can get away with it again.
I mean, dogs will test the water on you pretty hard that way too. A lot of them are more intuitive and sharp than you think. But
keep emotion out of the evaluation of good and bad and the application of punishments. This is super smart, especially with kids and with employees and with dogs. But if you're punishing the people or your workers or your employees or your dogs out of anger, you're not doing a good job. You're not doing a good job. In fact, just FYI, when I have to do punishment with my kids, I do it in like the most cold-blooded serial murder kind of way that I can.
The Buds instructor.
As if it's completely emotionless. I was like, well, unfortunately I have to do this because of your behavior. So go ahead and report to the garage. So they're gonna get hammered. But I think that's better.
Oh, it's far more impactful. Think about a Buds instructor. Like none of them really scream at you.
Yeah.
It's the antithesis of the Marine Corps DI. Yeah. Like it's just white noise at that point. You're just standing there like whatever. When that dude's like whispering like, I'm gonna snatch the life out of your soul and I'm gonna crush it right in front of your face. And the kid's sitting there like 18 years old blowing his anal glands like, Jesus, what did I sign up for?
Next, understand how dogs communicate overwhelmingly through body language and use that understanding and method of communication back to them to elicit the kinds of behaviors we want. And we've talked about this before on the podcast. I don't know, you've probably heard this before, but they say humans communicate, even though we're all verbal and all that, it's an 80% is nonverbal. 80% is nonverbal. This is, I don't know, probably someone will say, no, it's not 80, it's 78, but it's a huge percentage is nonverbal.
Well, to me, where I think, not to get too off track, but where the disparity is that with technology, so much of our communication doesn't involve interaction.
Right.
It's emails, it's text messages, even it's phone calls, whatever, so I think in person maybe, but because that's so watered down by everything,
Well, people do this. I mean, again, working with businesses all the time, I uncover all kinds of people that are having all kinds of problems because they're only communicating through email or through text, and therefore the people aren't picking up on all those other signals. Or we have relationships that get destroyed because, I made a joke to you about something and it was in a text message and I didn't put a LOL
with the emoji.
Emoji after it, so you didn't think I was joking, and all of a sudden we got an issue.
Yeah.
Like so this is definitely something that we have to remember. That's why I have like a rule in emails. I don't joke around in emails.
Yeah.
Like I don't make jokes in emails unless I just completely, if we know each other and we get there. But I'm not joking around. If I have a client, I'm not saying, I'll be there in a few weeks and hopefully I'll be able to sort your ass out. Right? They're like, wait a second. Right? Even though I'd be kidding, but they don't know that through the email. Back to the book. Determine our needs and understand how a dog's prey drive, energy level, and other physical traits contribute to a matrix of behavior. What does that say? Know your people. Know your people. What's driving them? What are they motivated by? What's going to make them work harder? Next, provide a dog with ample amounts of exercise and interaction with other dogs and people in a multitude of different environments. What I liked about that is, the obviously exercise, interaction, multiple of different environments. This is where I see people that are in a training capacity. They train people only in one environment, and so they get outside of that environment and they fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
Feed him a diet with maximum health benefits within our means. Hey, right, eat good food.
Steak.
Yeah, basically, we all know what we're referring to. I brought home, some of my bros gave me a cow femur the other day. I brought it home for my dog, just a raw cow femur. Yeah. You want to talk about a pumped up dog?
Rock and roll.
Yeah, he's still just getting after that thing.
That's what nature intended, right? Yeah.
Before undergoing formal training, develop a bond of mutual trust and respect. So get that relationship going before you demand a bunch of stuff from people. Become the authority figure in a dog's life that he wants and needs. Take the time to be patient, do multiple repetitions, build in different levels of distraction, and employ variable reward schedules, all to ensure that a concept is firmly embedded in a dog's mind. Now, we'll talk a little bit about jiu-jitsu here. You got to do the repetition. And then you've got to do it in different, you got to arm lock. You got to try an arm lock live rolling 100 times before you get one. At least 100, maybe more. And in order to shorten that time, you got to do more drills. And then you can shorten that time from 100. Maybe you only got to do it 44 times before it works. You think about when you learn a new move in jiu-jitsu, it can take a long time. The better you understand it in the isolated training environment, the quicker you're going to be able to do it live.
Yeah. Well, and from a behavioral standpoint, it's the same thing. Like, teach it in that sterile classroom and then move it into the living environment, going out for walks, going past dog parks, busy playgrounds, whatever. Is that, people are like, yeah, he's doing great in the classroom, and then I take him to the park and he just loses his mind. Like, where did you bridge that? Like, you can't go from third grade to a sophomore in college, and that's what you're doing. Like, you missed about 15 steps in between there. So
my dog was distracted in Walmart. Yeah, no kidding, idiot.
Yeah.
Next, use good problem-solving skills to identify the root cause of a problem and work out the solution to resolve the issue and not just hide it. Another thing, you see this in relationships and companies where everyone is hiding this problem. No one will address the problem. No one's going to address the problem. So if you got problems, default aggressive, get aggressive, find the solution to the problem and implement it.